Hello students, today we are going to do the chapter The Last Lesson, which is the first chapter from the book Flamingo. It is written by Alphonse Daudet. Alphonse Daudet, the author, was a French novelist. He was born on May 13, 1840 at Nimes in France. He died on December 16, 1897. The backdrop of the story is the Franco-Prussian War fought in 1870-1871. Prussia at that time was made up of countries Germany, Poland, and some parts of Austria. The story is set in the districts of Alsace and Lorraine. The narrator of this story is Franz, a school-going boy. Franz was rushing off to school, but he was in great dread. There were two reasons for his fear. The first reason was that he was late for school. Moreover, he had not done his homework of learning the French participles. He thought of escaping school as it was a wonderful day and he could have enjoyed nature. However, he resisted all temptation. While rushing off to school, Franz saw a huge crowd in front of the bulletin board. This bulletin board had been the source of all bad news. It had informed them about the lost battle, the draft, and the orders of the commanding office. Wachter, the blacksmith, told him to slow down as he had plenty of time to reach school. However, Franz felt that Wachter was making fun of him. On reaching school, Franz got a great surprise because there was no hustle and bustle. Hustle and bustle means the commotion of a normal classroom. There were no opening and closing of desks, no lessons were being repeated in unison. There was no teacher's great ruler rapping on the table. Moreover, when Monsieur Hamel saw him, he kindly asked Franz to sit down. He did not scold him. The greatest surprise was the dress of the teacher. He was dressed in his Sunday best. That is, he was wearing a beautiful green coat, frilled shirt, little black silk cap, and all of it was embroidered. This dress was normally only worn by M. Hamel on inspection and prize days. Another great surprise for Franz was that the villagers were sitting quietly and sadly on the last benches of the classroom. This last lesson was a great shock for Franz. It was because he learnt that there had been an order from Berlin to prohibit the teaching of French language in the schools of Alsace and Lorraine. From now onwards, only German language would be taught in the school. He knew that this last lesson required his complete attention. This last lesson also promoted regret in the hearts of all present as they knew that they had wasted their important time on not so important activities, and moreover they had completely ignored the learning of their own language. They also realized that Monsieur Hamel was going away and they would never see Monsieur Hamel again. The presence of the villagers in the class was also quite a surprise for Franz. They were present because they were regretful for not giving school and education any importance in the past and for procrastinating the learning of French language. Moreover, they also wanted to thank and honor Mr. Hamel for 40 years of faithful service. They wanted to honor and show respect and loyalty towards their country, a country which was no longer theirs. On observing Franz's discomfort and guilty conscience at not knowing the rules of French participles, Monsieur Hamel reassured Franz by saying that it was not only his fault but also the fault of the villagers and Monsieur Hamel himself. The villagers were at fault because it was the general habit of everyone to procrastinate. Procrastinate means to put off things on another day. It was their general belief that there would be plenty of time. Parents were not concerned about education. They preferred that the children work on farms and mills to supplement the income. The children, like Franz, were at fault because they loved to play truant or hockey. That is, they would love to miss school. They preferred to roam the countryside, seeking birds' eggs or going sliding on the Saar. They also liked to watch the drilling of Prussian soldiers. All these activities induced them to remain absent from school. Monsieur Hamel was also at fault because he would send the children to water the plants and on other errands. Whenever he wanted to go for fishing, he would declare a holiday for the students. According to Monsieur Hamel, French was the most beautiful language. It was the clearest and the most logical language. He believed that when a person is enslaved, as long as they hold fast to the language, it is as if they have the key to the prison. This means that as long as we are attached to a language and culture, no one can enslave us. He believed that we must guard our language and never forget it. Our language helps to keep us united and also helps to maintain our identity. Franz, during the last lesson, was full of regret. He now heard the lesson with full concentration, and because of this, he could now very well understand it. The rules, which were so difficult before, now appeared to be so easy. The teacher too explained so patiently. It was as if he wanted to give all he knew before going away. The last lesson started with a class in calligraphy. Monsieur Hamel had written the words France Alsace in a beautiful round hand in new copies. These words appeared like little flags. There was complete silence in the class. The only sound that could be heard was the scratching of pens over paper. In this last lesson, Franz was having many cynical thoughts about the Prussians. He thought that, will they make them sing in German, even the pigeons? This line is very important as it denotes the impact of slavery and the desire to dominate by linguistic chauvinism. Prussia had won the war over France and now they wanted to destroy their culture and their language. It is therefore they had passed this edict. It is an ironical statement on the attitude of the conquerors. This last lesson had a great impact on Monsieur Hamel. He realized his own fault. He was gazing at everything intently as if to memorize the minutest detail of the classroom in his mind. He was completely overcome by emotion at the end of the last lesson. He ended his last lesson after 40 years of loyal service by writing the words Vive la France on the blackboard. With this, we come to the end of the chapter. I hope that you liked and enjoyed it. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel